how you fucking start a game.
TJ Weber.
I am him. Get your ass on the air and let's pick something.
Big Web.
Hello, everyone. Welcome back to my channel.
Zach Zook.
Yeah, my picks have been shit this year.
Changing it. Oh, he's taking it off. Nick Yale. From the 50.
What is up, everybody? Welcome into this edition of From the 50. We are live from the St. Louis, Missouri studios here for Wild Card Weekend of the NFL playoffs. It's me, TJ Weber. You can follow me everywhere at Weber Bets. You have the great Big Web over to my right. Zach Zook on the road. We also have Nick Yale all the way from Dallas, Texas, and Ace joining us today on YouTube and TikTok. So if you guys want to get involved, you can let us know your thoughts on the playoff games so far from yesterday and also your plays for Wild Card Sunday and even Monday Night Football here on TikTok, also on our YouTube channel. All links can be found at WeberBets.com. Big Web, how the hell are you?
I'm doing great, buddy. I'm excited. It's that time of year, and yesterday, all the pipsqueaks are out.
Yeah, that's right. Who's the shortest quarterback left? Do we know? Zook, I feel like you'd know that.
It's probably going to be
I have to rack my brain.
Stroud, maybe?
No,
Maybe
I think it's Bo Nix shorter than him.
Bo Nix might be shorter. Yeah.
He's not the biggest guy.
Baker.
Yeah, Baker.
Baker is definitely the
100%
shortest.
Baker. Great job, Ace.
That's probably it. But the main pipsqueak, Russell, is gone. And he's out of the playoffs. It's time to play real ball now.
That's why we have Ace, for all the money we pay him because of stats like that. Like, who the shortest guy left in the playoffs
It hurts
is.
when you write them paychecks, I know.
Everybody out there wanted to know who the shortest quarterback left in the playoffs. It's kind of how it works. That's what you get on this show. You don't get who you should bet on, who's going to win, but who's the shortest quarterback. That's what we can do that.
Other than Drew Brees and Fran Tarkington, you can't do shit as a short quarterback.
Let's see. Colin says average Lions bandwagon in
analytics.
Missouri, and it starts early. Mikey says Bo Nix. He thinks Bo Nix is the shortest. Have we confirmed it, Ace? I don't know how many people care, but I am curious, actually.
Here, I'll Google.
Yeah, get the Google machine out.
I mean, Baker's only like 6 foot even, so I think everybody has to be taller than him, right?
I don't know.
Bo Nix is
He's-
6'2".
Okay,
6'2".
Baker Mayfield's 6'1".
Okay, so 6'2" for Bo Nix. There you go. I think those are the only two.
What about Stroud?
Stroud's not that short. Stroud's like
6'3"
6'3".
or 6'4". I don't know why you brought him up.
Yeah, that's kind of a wild thing.
Well, depends what kind of spikes he's
Jalen
got.
Hurts is also 6'1".
Good to know.
Yeah, I forgot about Jalen Hurts.
CJ Stroud 6'3".
Told
Wow. There you go. And then Jared Goff's got to be 6'4", isn't he? 6'4", 6'5".
you. Him and
He's
Stafford
tall.
are pretty tall guys.
Yeah. Anyway, your
Josh,
thoughts on
Josh.
and Josh is definitely 6'4" at least,
What
right?
about Lamar?
Ooh.
Lamar's
Josh
not
is
that
off
short.
five.
He's over 6 foot. I know that.
6'1" probably.
But he might be in the 6'1" camp.
Great topic.
Great topic. 78 people are locked in on this.
6'2".
So it's good.
6'2".
6'2".
6'2". Now we know.
Well, we just listed off the height
Hold
of
on.
all 7 starting quarterbacks.
Hold on, last
Will the
one,
starting
Patrick Mahomes.
quarterback
How tall is
in the
Patrick?
Super Bowl-
What was that, Ace?
Will the starting quarterbacks in the Super Bowl both be over 6'2" or over? That's the new betting line.
Oh, I like that.
Ooh.
I think so. In
In the Big
I'm
Web
not
Football
saying
League,
no.
that would be the line.
That would be the line. Yeah. I think that would work because, Lions are the favorite. Jared Goff's definitely over 6'2". Josh is over 6'2". Is Patty Mahomes over 6'2"?
No,
He's not.
he can't be. He might be the shortest one in the whole thing.
All right. We've lost 30
This is
viewers
what-
since we
this is-
started talking about this.
This is where you drop the who cares button.
We have a lot of games on here on Sunday. 3 on this Wild Card Sunday. 1 on Monday Night Football yesterday. Chargers lose to the Texans. Texans defense unbelievable. I mean, Justin Herbert got fucking smacked all day long through 4 picks. Looked awful. I don't think a lot of people saw that coming. I had Houston. Big Web had Houston, but I didn't think it was going to be a 20-point shellacking like it was.
Right.
And then also Steelers-Ravens on the opposite side. I thought it was going to be a touchdown game, maybe a field goal game with those two teams. And you could tell in the first half that Pittsburgh just didn't have it. I absolutely didn't have it. So
Yeah. Well, it was all up to the moon ball, and they did a couple, you said, but that was it.
that was it. And Big Web slept through the entire game, boys. The entire game. Didn't watch one
We were
snap.
busy. We were busy, but I can give you a lot of commentary about those games. Sure.
Yeah. So what are you guys' thoughts on the games yesterday? Did you win any coin or did you lose any coin?
I think I lost both of my games. I think I had Pittsburgh and Los Angeles. Justin Herbert, man, talk about not showing up in a situational performance. That was brutal. I thought the Chargers for sure were going to win that game. I thought Houston didn't have much of a playoff chance because Houston had been kind of on a downtrend there for a little bit throughout the end of the year. But D'Amico Ryans had that defense ready to go. That was definitely the difference maker, something to watch in the next round. Who do they get in the next round? Houston.
I believe it's going to be Kansas City
They'll get the Chiefs.
if all the favorites win. So if the Bills win, obviously the Ravens are already in. So the Ravens would play Buffalo if Buffalo wins, and then the Chiefs would play the Texans. So again, to me, it kind of sucks because I don't know how you feel about this. I do feel like the Texans are gonna just flounder in the second round. I just don't see them doing well. Where they had a really good defensive outing, probably won't do it again. And that offense did struggle. I mean, Stroud got rocked a lot in that first half, and they had chances to be up early, pretty good, and they made a lot of mistakes. So I see Kansas City rolling there.
The Chiefs got a lot easier draw there. I mean, that Ravens-Bills game could be unbelievable.
That might be one of the best of the playoffs right there.
Yeah, not to diss the Broncos yet, but I'm just saying what a football game those guys got to fight through. Where on the other side, on the AFC, it's easier.
Yeah. Mikey said Steelers should have went on it on 4th and inches. Punting was a stupid call. Yeah, there was a lot of people on Twitter. I said the same thing, and I guess I'm in my Dan Campbell mind, with the fact that we go for on a 4th and 18 on our own 20 sometimes. But I was shocked by that. I think they were already down 2 scores, and it was 4th and inches on their own 35 or something. I'm like, what are you waiting for? And then of course Baltimore scored on the next drive, and it's like, what's the point of that? I don't know how that all worked out, but Zook, I want to ask you, because I think you have a take on this. I just have a feeling.
Yeah.
You think Tomlin's finally out of Pittsburgh?
I don't know. I think that they're not going to fire him because he would be hired in a New York minute. So if you want to move on, I think that a separation would make sense, honestly, for both parties. But I think that you'd have to look at trading him instead of firing him. So that kind of complicates things.
They trade the whole head coach trade.
Yeah, I don't understand that.
I don't either. Who's the last one that's been traded? I really don't even know.
Denver
for Sean Payton.
Sean Payton,
right.
Yeah.
Is that the only one that's happened in the last 20 years? I feel like I've never heard of that.
Gruden got traded.
Yeah, I was going to say there was one other.
What was the compensation? What was the swap out?
Yeah, I don't know.
Draft picks, I believe.
Yeah, I think a 2nd-round pick.
For Gruden, it was a 1st-round pick.
For Gruden, it was a
first-round pick. Is that right? Wow.
Yeah.
I feel like the Kevin O'Connell. So my thing is, Schefter goes out there and says teams are interested in trading for Vikings head coach Kevin O'Connell. But if I'm why would the Vikings ever trade him? I don't understand.
Yeah, I don't think there's much to that story. There's a lot of kind of dumb shit that comes out this time of year too. Agent, you never want to source guess, but agents are leaking things, owners are leaking things, GMs are leaking things.
Right.
No shit. If you could hire Kevin O'Connell, you would. But why would the Vikings trade him?
They already came out and said they absolutely are not doing that.
Why would you? He turned Sam Darnold into a good quarterback. What the fuck? I mean, that's a magician shit if I've ever seen it.
Right.
Yeah, we want to trade Kevin O'Connell so we can promote Brian Flores, known quarterback hater, head coach position.
Right.
Belichick was traded from the Jets to the Patriots, too.
Yeah.
Was he really? That's good trivia.
Yeah.
I didn't know that either.
Wow. Okay.
I guess I just kind of forgot that was a thing. Head coaches got traded at times. I just feel like that's kind of wild.
I forgot all about it, absolutely.
If he did get traded, you know who he'd actually make a lot of sense for? And I know they're interviewing everybody under the sun. Big Web, you've probably got an interview with him on Monday.
I do.
I'm
supposed to say
Bears.
that on air. But...
He'd make some sense with the Bears.
No, he doesn't. Oh, no, he does. Kevin O'Connell, yes. Sorry, Ben Johnson was in my mind for a second.
I'm talking Tomlin. Sorry.
Mike Tomlin. Okay. Yeah, that could work. And that would be exciting, I think, for people in Chicago. I think that would make sense. I'm just trying to keep Ben Johnson out of the NFC North. That is my number one thing.
The only thing I got to say about Tomlin is he overachieved this year with a team that didn't look like they were going to do shit.
Yeah.
And he overachieved. But he's also, from a Pittsburgh standpoint, those guys are used to getting to the playoffs and advancing. He hasn't won a playoff game, I think they said, in 8 years.
Last six playoff games he's lost, right? It's something like that.
That fandom's
Yes.
got to be freaking pissed at him.
Yeah, I mean,
Consider though that he has started Mason Rudolph in like 4 of those years.
yeah, that's true.
true.
And
My,
then, like the Big Ben, like they were hanging on a Big Ben too long, like that whole
And then
deal
Kenny
too.
Pickett. Yeah, it's just they haven't
been a
had
deal.
quarterback.
My Uncle Bob texted me. He said Sean Payton was traded for a first and a second rounder.
Oh, really?
And a second rounder. Okay.
Wow. I mean, it's worked out kinda, but like,
Yeah.
man, who's that turned into for the Saints? I guess I don't know if that's been figured out yet, or if that
Because
those
in a
draft
lot
picks
of
already
those
happened.
situations, the coach will step down, but the team will still have their rights to the like if they don't fire them. I think a lot of times there'll be such a Bruce Arians that happened in Tampa Bay. Bruce Arians stepped down from Arizona, but they still had his rights, and so Tampa Bay sent
They
a
still owed him compensation, even though he
sixth or
was
seventh round pick, to Arizona.
Huh.
Gotcha.
Saints used the first round pick last year to draft Brian Brisset.
Oh yes,
Brisset.
Brian Breesy.
Well, that's Greasy's nephew with a B.
They just misspelled his name
that's
on
exactly
the thing.
right.
Defensive
Interesting.
player?
Defensive tackle.
Let's say, what side of the ball does that man play for? Let's play that game.
Yeah.
I have no idea.
I was like, it's got to be like on the line somewhere because linebacker,
yeah.
any skill player, you would know who it is.
How about Vrabel being hired by the Patriots this morning?
Yeah, that was breaking.
Oh, did he
news.
get hired?
Beautiful.
Yeah,
It
30
is. It
minutes
is
ago.
official. Multi-year contract.
Wow, that's breaking news for me. I did not
too.
know that. I
Me
knew that
too.
was coming. I had a feeling,
I
but
like
Right.
that hire. Makes sense.
yeah, I mean, it does make sense. I kind of feel bad for Gerard Mayo. It's he really didn't have a good situation. I think Robert Kraft even said we kind of had set him up for failure, but we won Vrabel. Like this is kind of the deal. It's kind of like going into hockey real quick. The Blues just did that with their head coach this year. Had Drew Bannister, went out and got Montgomery, knowing that he was a former assistant coach when we won the cup. Like the whole deal. No, when he won the cup, Nick, or was it the year after? Either way, he was here for a while.
Nobody gives
No,
a
I
fuck.
don't think he was assistant when we won the cup.
Okay, but it was like 21-22. But my thing is, whatever sport it is, whatever situation it is, if you want to go get your guy, and that's
Right.
kind of what the Patriots
And
did.
he's got team history, that's going to be a passionate guy coaching a football team.
Yeah.
With all the talent in the world. So, yeah.
Let's see, Broncos versus Detroit Super Bowl. That's from James. That would be, I'd be fine with that. I don't see that happening. I think Ace would be upset by that.
Hey, go ahead and bet it, man. You'll get yourself some odds on that thing right
That
now.
will not be happening.
Are the Broncos the longest odds right now still to win the Super Bowl? Do we know?
I would think so.
Gotta be. I'll look.
Take a look. I'm curious. You guys can get involved here on TikTok or on YouTube. Let us know your thoughts on the games yesterday and also your top plays for Sunday and Monday in the wild card rounds. Yesterday, we did pick our 2 games on our spreadsheet, obviously, before the show. Nick goes 0-2 with Chargers and Steelers. Ace goes 0-2 with Chargers and Steelers. All of us, me, Big Web, and Zook all go 1-1. Me and Big Web had Houston. Zook's the only one that took Baltimore minus 9.5, which
I had them locked, by the way, in my initial kind of picks that I sent to you guys, and then I just thought, like 9.5 divisional playoff matchup, I can't do it. But I felt like Baltimore was going to kick their ass.
and they did.
And
Broncos
I-
are plus
I like
8,500.
Yeah, plus 8,500 on the Broncos.
Broncos.
Wow. I mean, that's worth a sprinkle. That's, Ace doesn't agree, but listen. if
If you get the exact matchup, you probably get even better. I mean, you would
exact
even better
matchup, you
odds
get
than that.
probably 15,000 or something. I don't know what it is.
Yeah, I don't know.
Just to be
I
honest,
think it's pretty.
yesterday,
You go
Broncos
up one.
lines.
I like
You go up one spot on them to the Commanders. The Commanders are only plus 4,000.
Wow. So,
Yeah,
like,
Commanders
they're,
are losing today.
I'd rather sprinkle them.
yeah. I like the Commanders today. That's one of my teams. I like the Commanders. No offense to Bucks fans out there. I don't know if they're gonna win, but I think plus 3. It'll be close enough. So, Victor says KC will win the Super Bowl. Just John says Chiefs versus Vikings in the Super Bowl. Chiefs Lions Super Bowl says Bundy. A lot of different options. All of everybody saying Chiefs. G-Man says Ravens and Bills are 2 scary good teams now. I agree. I think between if we get anything else besides an AFC championship of Kansas City, Baltimore, or Kansas City, Buffalo, and then NFC, Lions, and Eagles, I think nothing else would be as fun. I think those 5 teams sprinkled in would be the greatest matchups.
I think you're all over it, and I think the networks are looking the exact same way.
They want it.
There's a drop off there. There's a big drop off there for sure.
It would be an electric championship Sunday. Really thought the Chargers were going to play better last night. Herbert played like crap. That's from Bundy. I agree with that. Yeah, he didn't look good. They didn't have good protection, and they had chances. Houston just left the door open. Houston could have put them away early, and they looked like shit in the first half. That's why I think they're going to get wrecked by whoever's second round. But yeah, they played awful. They really did. Let's go over, Ace, do you have the CBS Sports Pick'em standings going into the playoffs?
I do.
What we got?
I do. So right now, we have 4 people that are really the only 4 that are going to be left to win the jersey in the top 3. Okay. We have Gigi Evans, who's in first at 161.
Nice. She's in studio
Allen,
today,
Paul
by the way.
Evans,
Congrats to Gigi.
Yeah. Joe Allen, Paul Evans tied for second at 158.
Okay.
And Amanda Clemens is only 1 behind him at 157.
Wow. A lot of games
if you
left.
Get below
this
that,
is kind of the week to do it.
149 range.
Yeah. This is kind of the week to do it, Big Web.
This is your week to move and try to get there.
Got to make it happen. You got to focus it. Ace, let me tell you, I don't know if that apple dislodged in your throat, but you sound a little better today.
I think he's on a little bit of delay today. That's
okay.
All right.
All right, very good.
That's all right. Let's see. Prediction for Green Bay Philly. That's from Preston. Well, Zook, I'll go to you. Your Packers, the 7 seed in the playoffs. Yeah. What do you think?
I have little to no confidence in the Packers. My buddy that yeah. I mean, now it's one of those things where it's like it's the NFL, anything can happen, right? But I think that this year's team's worse than last year's team. Last year's team at this time, I think, was a better team than this year's team is. I don't feel like the receivers have taken a step forward. Jordan Love's had a little bit of a sophomore slump. The defense is much better, but they just haven't proven that they can beat good teams. They haven't beaten a single quality team this year. I mean, last year they killed the Lions on Thanksgiving. They beat the Chiefs and Patrick Mahomes in Arrowhead, I think. Mm-hmm. No, maybe that game was at home, but it was a primetime game against Patrick Mahomes. Mm-hmm. They beat him. They killed the Vikings at US Bank. None of those things happened this year. They lost to the Lions twice, lost to the Vikings twice, had one of the worst coaching gaffes I've ever seen in Week 18 against the Bears several times, but the main one on third down when they literally just gave him the middle of the field for a walk-off field goal. It's literally mind-blowingly stupid. Yeah. So I have zero confidence that they'll be able to shut down Hurts, Jalen Hurts, and Saquon Barkley.
So did the Watson injury cause any of that, or did you have those thoughts no matter what Watson was doing?
It doesn't matter. They have 5 wide receiver threes. They don't have anybody that's that good.
That's a really good point. It's a really good point. True. I think.
Watson stretches the field. It's a loss. I'm kind of on my high horse, being a little dramatic, but they can win. And you know what? I think if they do win, I was talking about this last night with my buddies. If they do win, then I think that that one victory kind of changes everything for them, for their confidence, and I think then they'd have a chance. They'd likely be facing divisional opponents that they're familiar with. Although they have lost to the Lions twice. They'll
get wrecked by the Lions in Detroit, but it'd be a fun little wild card win for you. I'd be happy for you. I really would.
They're getting closer. They only lost by 3 points last time, so tough to beat the same team 3 times. You know all that bullshit.
Oh, that's the thing. So. I am very worried about 2 teams especially, and the most likely we're going to play one of those 2 teams. It's the Vikings and the Rams, because you can beat the Vikings. It's hard to beat them 3 times in a row or 3 times in one season. The Rams, Stafford, I feel like every game he's figuring out the Lions more and more again. He still wants to get a big revenge game against them. And then the Packers I'd rather play the Packers than those 2 teams, but same deal. It's hard to beat a team 3 times. If they do pull off the win against Philly, you're right. They have a lot of momentum going into that game. But, God, would it not be fun to have in Detroit, divisional round, Lions-Packers for a trip to the NFC Championship?
Opponent. You just want a softer freaking opponent.
That's true, too, but I'm not going to say it out loud.
Though. Be careful what you wish for, because if the Packers beat the Eagles, how they beat the Cowboys, or even if it ends up being a close game and the Packers pull it off, you probably wouldn't want to face them as much as you want to face them right now.
I'd rather face the Packers a third time than the Vikings.
Hell yeah.
That's where I'm at.
Yeah,
The Vikings scare me because I'm not, nothing against LaFleur. I think he can do a great job coaching in that game too. I think they'll have a better game plan, but I think we gave the Vikings everything we had with all the injuries on defense, and now they know exactly what AG is going to do. Doesn't mean Darnold's going to play better, but you would think they'd game plan against them better.
The Dr. Jekyll, Mr. Hyde, Darnold is the factor. Is what is he going to show up like?
Yep. I think they can beat anybody, but I don't want the Vikings again. I really don't. I really don't. If Josh Jacobs plays at his best and Love can get going, I think Green Bay could pull off the upsets from Bundy. Preston says, as a Green Bay fan, I 100% agree. If we stack the box, they'll just go to the pass game. So it is. That's the Eagles are very dangerous. Hurts is apparently a full go this week too, so there's no injury distinction for him. Jordan Love's all good too, right? I mean, everybody's healthy on both sides pretty much. Or
Love's got a hang.
He had the nerve damage. He's been fucking. If it's not one thing, it's the other with him.
Yeah.
Like it's his knee, then it's his hamstring or his groin or whatever he pulled, and now it's the elbow. Like I don't know, man.
It's always something going on.
I don't think
he's fully healthy.
It says most real Packer fan out there.
He is.
I'm buying it.
He's an honest Packers fan, 100%.
Yeah.
It's funny because most of the time when you make the playoffs, even when you just squeak in and you've been shit for 3 weeks and your quarterback's hurt, most guys we have a shot. And Zook goes, I really don't have any confidence today. I got nothing. It's perfect.
You got to love that, man.
It is. It's real. Preston said the thing is, though, Hurts is coming off a month of sitting out. We'll see how much rust he has. I just think they have too many weapons. My thing is, I think the Packers can beat them, but they have to play, it's kind of cliche, but a perfect game in a way to beat Philly because Philly has so many things they can do, and the fact that Saquon had almost a record-breaking season is enough to let that team go.
Now, conversely, you would never hear Nick say, "Oh, those Jaguars, man, you just
No.
go, we blow this week. We just blow."
Yeah. No, there's not a whole lot. We're looking at that fifth overall pick right now, picking out who we're gonna get, which O tackle, which D tackle we need for next year.
You're gonna miss out on Travis Hunter, and then you're gonna get just an offensive tackle, and you guys will be 4 and whatever next year.
I don't want Travis Hunter. I want an offensive tackle to protect our fucking.
You don't want Travis Hunter. It's the only thing you've said the entire season, and then now that you can't get him, I don't want him. Yeah.
Well, no, I mean they're not. Yeah, they're at 5. If they were at 1, yes, I would want Travis Hunter because they do need a cornerback. But they're at 5. They need to get an offensive tackle, protect their franchise quarterback that's been injured for 2 years.
Why do you hate Mac Jones?
$50 million. Mac Jones sucks.
Hey, put Mac Jones at left guard.
There you go.
I'm more interested in who we're going to go get as our head coach. That's what I want to worry about right now.
Who wants to take that job? Ben Johnson. I mean, he interviewed with every team, but Jaguars have to be last on his list. If Ben Johnson takes the Jaguars job over the Bears, now the Patriots is gone, Vegas even. I mean, what are we doing, Ben?
Hey, Dion might be going to Vegas. There was interest yesterday from Dion. That was the rumor that
if Shador gets drafted, I guess.
If Shador goes there,
he visited out there. Yeah,
that would be kind of intriguing, though. It'd be fun. I mean, it'd be a neat storyline,
Dion also said he wants
Vegas.
to coach.
Yeah.
Dion also said he wants to coach in the NFL if he can coach both of his sons. So he's trying to get Shiloh drafted too, I guess.
I heard him say that.
Yeah.
Heard him say both. Absolutely.
We'll see what happens. We got to see what happens with these picks. We do have the remainder of the playoff games that we do need to pick for the wild card round. As I mentioned, nobody went 2-0 yesterday. It's kind of a time to make a move if you're Big Web, but he needs everything and all the help in the world.
Mathematically still in.
I don't know exactly. He is 8 games back of Zook before the week started, and he went 1-1, and Zook went 1-1. So,
and the other thing is everything counts as 2 in the playoffs. We just made that new rule this morning.
That's fine with me. As long as you or Zook signs it, I don't give a shit who signs it. But Ace, we have 4 games left, and then we are doing locks, no dogs. Correct?
That is correct.
All right. What do we got for the first matchup?
We have the Denver Broncos going up to snowy Buffalo, taking on the Bills. Buffalo is -7.5.
How much snow is there, actually? Is it, done, or is it just all stacked up from what we got in the Midwest kind of thing?
There's a bunch of snow around the stadium. Pictures this morning, field was clear.
Okay. Big Web, what do you got? Oh, no, Zook's our leadoff hitter. That's right. Zook.
I am the leadoff hitter, and I will take the Buffalo Bills. More snow, more better for Josh Allen. It seems to slow down literally everybody that's ever played the game. Not him and not that offense. I'll take the Bills. It's going to be a conflicted household today because, like, if it can't be the Packers, I think my dream Super Bowl matchup is Lions-Bills.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm kind of rooting for Josh Allen today, but my wife and all her family's from Colorado. Not Denver, but the state of Colorado. So, yeah, I'm kind of conflicted, but I'm taking the Bills.
Big Web?
So just briefly, I'm going to explain to the audience. When you hear my analysis, it could be in favor of one team, and then I pick the other, and that's just strictly because I'm going against Zook. When you listen to analysis, it's really who I'm going with, but let's just explain that part and tell you all about it. Mm-hmm. So, Denver's got a rookie quarterback, TJ, that could come in and play in his first football game in the playoffs away from home. Mm-hmm. And I'm a little concerned about that for Denver. And Denver's got a great pass rush, but also the best against the rush offensive line is your Buffalo Bills. So I believe they're going to be able to sustain that pass rush. Buffalo's going to get it done today, but let's take Denver.
Sounds good. All right, Nick, what do you got?
Yeah, Big Web was just talking about it a little bit. Buffalo has given up the least amount of sacks in the NFL. Denver has sacked quarterback the most times. So that's definitely going to be an interesting matchup. I'm going to go, I think originally I was on Denver, so I'm flipping here. I think it was on the line, may have been a little bit different. I'm flipping here to Buffalo and taking the Bills as an ode to Josh Allen and James Cook, who won me my fantasy league.
Always goes back to the fantasy team. Ace, what do you got?
As you guys have mentioned, it's strength on strength. I am taking the Denver Broncos to cover against.
Wow,
this is what he does.
Nice.
I hate this guy.
This is what he does.
This is going to be a 3 or 4 point game. The Bills will not blow them out.
This is what he does. This is how, it's how I can't pick against the Lions. He never picks for the Bills, ever.
Right.
It's a complete opposite. It's every
time.
time.
Is going to be his way too many points.
Yeah, the half hook.
I've honestly, I've never felt more confident in Bills minus 7.5 than I do right now.
Yeah. The fact that he also goes. Go ahead.
They don't have their punt or kick returner today, so now I'm fully expecting them to fumble one of those. Denver's going to get some bullshit touchdown, and I'm just going to be miserable most of the day.
He's got that Zook energy going on for his team. I like this. This is good.
He does.
This is fun.
Let me
write that down. The punt returner is
Tyler Bass is going to miss a fucking extra point.
Here he goes.
T-Bass will miss an extra point. You can count on that.
With all that being said, I'm going to take Buffalo as well. I like the Bills today. 7.5 is a tough number against anybody. Denver has been the surprise team this year, I think. Their defense has been flying around a lot, playing really good, but Josh Allen's had an MVP-type season, and I don't think he's going to stop here. They're at home. It could be a little sweaty at the end. I could see, Buffalo messing around a little bit for 3 quarters and keeping them in it, but I think at the end of the day, obviously they're going to win. I have a good feeling they'll blow this one open late. So give me the Buffalo Bills. So it's 3-2 in favor of Buffalo on the panel. All right, heading out to the next one, Ace. What do we got?
We have Zook's Green Bay Packers heading up.
Delay.
He's on delay.
Heading up to Philadelphia. The Eagles are minus 4.5.
All right, Zook.
Yeah, I'm going to take Philadelphia Eagles. They're a better football team.
All right.
I guess I laid it out kind of already. I don't want to put the audience through it again. I think the Packers can win. Key to winning will be Josh Jacobs. No sneak peek. I didn't pick him as my lock. The only reason I didn't do that is because I could totally see the Packers being down 10 and scoring a meaningless touchdown at the end. But I think Philly's just too much, man. Even with the layoff, that offense doesn't ask Hurts to do a crazy amount, especially not this year. They'll be able to get A.J. Brown the ball in space, run it with Saquon Barkley, and advance to the next round.
Big Web?
Yeah, you know what the Eagles can do on offense, plus they're stronger in the trenches on both sides of the ball. Their defense ranks second in the league in points allowed. I just don't see it. I see Philadelphia doing very well in this game, but give me Green Bay.
Nick?
Well, there was a lot of speculation around Jalen Hurts the past couple weeks, whether he was fully in concussion protocol or whether he's just resting for the playoffs. They're going to have a healthy Jalen Hurts going today and a healthy Saquon Barkley after sitting out last week. So we're going to go to the Eagles defense was my playoff defense. So
there we go.
We will take the Philadelphia Eagles.
Ace.
Nobody knows the Packers better than Zook. So since he's on Philly, I'm taking the Eagles as well.
I'm going to go Philly as well. I do hope, in a way, Green Bay wins this game. I don't want to face the Eagles if I don't have to. I'm not saying we'll get there, but I'll take the Packers. I think it'll be a fun divisional round matchup in Detroit again to see the Packers get destroyed by the Lions for the third time this season. I'm going to go ahead and take Philly minus 4.5, though. I think they're the better team.
Island, right?
Yeah, Big Web's on an island with Green Bay.
There we go. Thank you very much.
Not bad. 4.5 is not a bad line for that. All right, what do we got next, Ace?
We have the Washington Commanders going to Tampa Bay. Tampa Bay -3.
Zook?
I'm going to go with the Washington Commanders. I think they win this game outright on the road. I think that Daniels and that team has just been – they've been fun to watch this year. They've been a revelation. I think that they're actually pretty balanced. You would think, too, like they have kind of the clear number one, but no real clear passing options beyond that. They just kind of spread it around.
How do you hate Olamide Zaccheaus?
Yeah, I was going to say, they just kind of spread around to Zaccheaus and Ertz and Yami Brown, and they just kind of spread the ball around. I think that keeps them pretty balanced. They have the two running backs, and they have a good defense. So I think Dan Quinn has really kind of turned them around, and I think that they'll be able to keep Baker Mayfield in that Bucs rushing attack in check. That is the key to stopping the Bucs offense. If you can kind of keep Rachaad White and Bucky Irving in check, you can stop that offense. So if they can have a good day against the run, I feel really good about them.
Big Web?
You know, the Bucs been kicking my ass all fucking year, every week. But I mean, Washington has 2 games ago or whatever when he got in overtime and he never gave the other team a chance to touch the football. That was an amazing drive, and it shows you what Daniels can do at quarterback, taking over a game. I am taking Tampa because Zook took Washington.
There you go. Nick?
I mean, that's pretty good reason right there. But the better reason to take Tampa Bay is because their kicker, Chase McLaughlin. He's on my fantasy team. And Zook,
that was just a double. That was a double whammy there. Did you notice that? It was the kicker thing with Nick. It was also the fantasy team. It went together.
And Zook, you mentioned the run game, but we forgot to mention was the passing game, which the Buccaneers have Mike Evans. Mike Evans is going to be
what a breakdown.
Solid.
The Bucs have Mike Evans. Oh yeah,
solid all day long. 11 straight seasons now with 1,000 yards. Marshawn Lattimore is going to be on him, so that's going to be a fun matchup to watch. Probably the most balanced matchup I think between the teams in the playoffs so far this weekend. But I'll take the Bucs in the -3.
I'm glad you brought up the Lattimore thing because I just want to see him chuck Nux at some point.
Yeah, I know.
That could happen.
You know, Mike Evans, Marshawn Lattimore would be the one to get in a fight.
I like the Bucs. Did you know the Bucs have Mike Evans? The
Mike
fuck was
Evans.
that?
Clip that.
That was crazy. I'm gonna clip that off. Ace, what do you got?
53% of the bets are on Washington, while 52% of the money's on Tampa Bay. I'm going with the Sharps and taking Tampa Bay -3.
Nice. Let's go Sharps.
Wow. I'm going to go ahead.
It has not been a year for the Sharps, right, Nick? Correct me if I'm wrong. Hasn't this been
Squares,
a favorite
2024 was the year of the square, but 2025 is
That's true. That's true.
Yeah. Changing it now.
There you go.
All right. I learned 2 things. I learned the Bucs have Mike Evans, and I learned it's 2025.
Starts today. Right now. And Chase McLaughlin, kicker, fantasy team.
That's right.
It's good to know that too.
Field goal spread. It's gonna pan out.
I'm gonna keep Zook off the island. I'm gonna take a Washington +3 in this game. Tampa during the year they had a chance. They got it done. They won the division. Falcons did them a lot of favors, but Tampa just didn't look strong the last few weeks. I really think Washington can stay close in this one. I think it's gonna be a hell of a game, and I'll take the points. So give me +3 with the Washington Commanders. All right, Ace, what do we got for Monday Night Football?
We have the Vikings -2.5. Rams are the home team. Game is actually in Arizona because of the wildfires.
That's right. Ace, or no, not Ace. Zook.
I'm looking this up because I want to give you guys the year. This is only the second playoff game to be moved in NFL history.
Wow.
The last time and the only other time it happened was the NFL championship. And I just want to get the year. It was between the Green Bay Packers and the Boston Maroons. The NFL Championship was set to take place in Boston, so they moved it. I don't know what year it was, but it was like near World War II. Wow. So this is unprecedented territory we're in. Obviously, it's under horrendous circumstances with the wildfires going on out in Los Angeles. But I think that this is a really tough spot for the Rams.
1936.
1936. So, yeah, very close to Poland being invaded. But I'm going to go ahead and take the Rams, the Minnesota Vikings to beat the Rams outright. I think they're going to cover. I think it's a really tough spot for the Rams to be in. And I think Minnesota is honestly the more talented team anyways.
Big Web?
Zook, I actually remember that game. I had the Maroons plus 75.5 and lost by 0.5 point.
It's tough.
So we got the Vikings at the Rams in Glendale. Lately Sam has been Sam lately, meaning he made the Detroit D-line look like the steel curtain. And the man can't handle pressure. I see more of the same today from the Rams, so give me whoever Zook is not taking.
Be the Rams. Nick?
Yeah, Vikings haven't looked great, but I think they're going to win this game. -2.5. I will take the Vikings. It's going to be another close one, and I want to take Rams because Kyron Williams was on my fantasy team. TJ, I know that's big and very important to you, but I'm actually going
the whole
against
fucking
him.
league on your fantasy team.
Sounds like
taking the Vikings.
All right, Ace.
Oh.
I am taking the Los Angeles Rams. They have the perfect blueprint to be able to beat the Vikings. Just blitz the shit out of them, and they can't do anything.
Yeah, I'm also going to take the Rams. I really thought about this one, and I'm like, am I just really biased and don't want the Vikings to move on? I really don't think so. I think the Rams are actually, I don't know, it seems like a spot for them where they can really take it to Minnesota. I think Minnesota is going to expect to win this game. I think Darnold's going to have some hangover from last week. I mean, AG had an amazing defensive scheme against them, a lot of pressure, but Darnold missed a lot of throws. He hasn't seen that all year, and I'm just saying I don't think he's going to be like he was weeks beforehand. I think he's a little messed up still because of that, and I think the Rams are going to do enough to win. This game is going to be a coin flip, in my opinion, but I'm going to take the points here, and I'm going to take the Rams at a field goal. I think it's going to be that close, and something about Minnesota just tells me that this is the end of their season. So it'll be close. It'll be close.
So can I bring up a little off the field point here just quickly? If your town's on fire, okay, and you're moving out and you're playing in Glendale. Now here's a team that I believe doesn't really draw local fans during the regular season, but I think playoff fans they would draw there. And also the opponents buying seats too. But is your mind as a player, as a coach, as somebody involved with the team, or if you got your own house is a problem, your brother's house is a problem, your family's house is a problem. Is that on your head? Or
could be.
Are you
Absolutely.
going to this ball game going, you know what, my town needs a break. My town needs 3 hours to root for us, and it pumps you up. Which way does this take you?
Yeah, we'll find out. I mean,
I think the second, Big Web. I really do think that you typically like an event like this galvanizes like a locker room. I just think a lot of it. I would not be surprised if the Rams end up having to go silent count in State Farm Stadium in Arizona, because I think the bigger impact is the fans. The players are going to go, right? The coaches are going to go. But let's say you were a fan and you were planning on going to the game, and now all this has happened. Well, is your priority really still going to be, okay, I'm going to find a last-minute flight to Arizona for a Monday game, take off work or like whatever else I've got going on? I'm sure people have they're dealing with a lot right now.
So much to do at home,
I just think that it's going to be a virtual home game for Minnesota, and I think it's going to be it's just a tough spot for the Rams. It sucks.
Yep. So we got locks, right? No dogs. We got locks. So Zook, what do you got for your lock?
My lock is Minnesota. I had Baltimore at first earlier on in the week, and then just thought, that's an awful lot of points for a divisional matchup where meaningless touchdowns could get scored, and then you lose the pick. So I switched it to Minnesota when the game got moved to Arizona.
Big Web?
I'm going with Philly here. I don't see that you could take anybody else. That seems like the strongest play all the way across the board.
All right. Nick?
I'm also a Zook. I'm going Minnesota.
All right. Ace?
Big Web's locking Philly after taking Green Bay. All right.
Damn it.
Just to guarantee him.
Can I change?
He's got one win. Yeah, you can change Big
it.
Web.
You had the Rams originally, Big Web.
Give me the Rams. Let me lock the Rams.
This is the best pick of the week. There's no shot Green Bay covers. Oh, I picked Green Bay. That's right.
5 minutes ago. Jesus.
That's funny.
I am locking the Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
Okay.
Nice.
Okay.
I think the other part of that game is you have a rookie QB on the road in the playoffs. It's not going to be easy for Jaden Daniels.
I'm going to go ahead and lock the Buffalo Bills. Kind of what Big Web said about Philly. I'm going to lock the Bills on that side. I'm not worried about the 7.5. I think Denver is just going to, stay in for a bit, and then Buffalo's going to do what they do. I don't think they have a real shot. So give me the Bills minus 7.5. And that'll do it for our picks for the Wild Card Week. You guys get involved here on TikTok and on YouTube. We're going to be on for another 10 to 15 minutes. Big Web's Best Bet of the Week coming up, but we're also reading comments and getting you set for the wild card matchup starting here at noon CT. A lot of Detroit Lions fans in the chat. Thank you guys for tuning in. Renzo says Green Bay Packers are the Super Bowl champs this year. Go Pack, go. Connor says, so sad the Cardinals didn't make the playoffs. Arizona Cardinals or the St. Louis Cardinals? I didn't know because if he saw the Cardinals thing in the back or not. So there you go. Some Packers fans, Lions fans. Let's do our favorite thing we haven't done all year. Let us know where you're watching from in the chat. I'll read them off. Love seeing where people are watching from. So thank you guys for tuning in here on this Sunday morning. My Chargers got embarrassed. That's from Pugs. Hunter's watching from Maryland today. So we got, a Baltimore Ravens fan. They looked damn good yesterday. Ravens by 17 trillion for the rest of the playoffs. That's from Christian. Jalen said he's watching from Toronto. Dolio says Connecticut. Robert, Lions versus Ravens Super Bowl from Oklahoma. He's from Oklahoma City. I'm watching from Sedona, Arizona. So we got a lot of different spots, not only in the U.S., but also in Canada. How about that, Nick? We got a Canadian audience.
How about that?
International show.
International show.
We are a national show. International show, that's right.
International show.
California, Detroit. So we got a lot of good spots. Big Web, you can see our new board over here. He's locking in. My bet still, 84 to win 1,092. Lions win the Super Bowl. They are offering me, Nick, a cash out right now of, I believe, 220. But I'm not hedging. I'm not fucking hedging. That's what I'm not doing. It. So
it's too early.
Way too early. I'm not hedging at all with that one. I think I got a shot and fandom with it. Also winning some money. I'm going to do double whammy if they lose, but what are you going to do? It's a fun time. I believe, by the way, my lovely wife brought up the other day, Zook, that the rushing touchdown bet for the Lions, I think missed by 1 week, I believe.
Yeah. Wow.
1 week.
Oh.
And it was the 1 week I was sitting there at Thanksgiving, and part of her family was chirping me, by the way. They're like chirping me that I'm losing. I'm like, that's cool. And so that was a lot of fun. But, I mean, there were 2 plays where it was on the 3-yard line and on the 1-yard line. 2 play-action passes to Sam Laporta. I'm like, what are we doing?
Yeah. Who at that point they hadn't thrown it to, like, all year.
Exactly.
Right.
So why
Were
when
those
you
his
knew
only
that
2 touchdowns of the year?
I think he had 3 or 4, maybe. I don't know exactly.
So you're telling me you're sitting there on the holiday just trying to enjoy your team. Who did they play? Was it Vikings?
They played the Bears. That was the Bears.
Okay, they played the Bears, playing the shitty Bears. Oh, they kicked their ass too, didn't they?
No, that was the close one at the end where Eberflus he got fired.
Oh
after
yeah,
the game.
that was the clock management.
That was the clock management.
Sorry,
one,
I did not get to see that because I went to the Packers game that night.
Yeah.
So we were on the bus up to Green Bay when all that was going on.
Yeah, it was crazy.
So you're telling me you're sitting there, you're watching the game, you're enjoying Thanksgiving with the family. You're just wanting you get the Lions 1 rushing touchdown, and then the in-laws are like, "Ha, you must be pretty pissed, huh?"
Yeah,
another passing touchdown.
It was just one aunt that had to just stick a knife in my side nonstop and go, "Wow, you were close, man. That'd be fun. That sucks, man. I can't believe you bet that." And I'm like, "What do you have on the game?" Like, I got $5 on the favorite. I'm like, "Great. Like, let's chat about this later. Then let me enjoy this a little bit." I was like, "What is this for? What did I ever do to you? I've been good, I don't know if she listens or not. I'm not shouting any names or anything, but it was a little like, okay, cool.
You figured it out.
Happy Thanksgiving to you. Interesting times. Bo Nix over 1.5 passing touchdowns, ? That's from Connor. Does anybody think he gets 2? No? I'd take under on that one, probably. it's always like you feel like you should take at least 2. Like it is the perfect number for someone like him, though. It really is.
I'd go ahead and take 2 because they throw a lot of red zone screens.
Yeah.
Man, Marvin Mims too, by the way. Speaking of fantasy teams, on my dynasty team, he did nothing during the year, and then all of a sudden, I hope he's like Bo's guy in the future because my team will be nuts. I got Bo Nix too, so that's huge. What was I going to say? Sam Laporta, 7 touchdowns this year. Zook, by the way. It felt like he had less than that. Really did.
Yeah, it did.
He
had such a big year last year. That's why
he did.
If somebody could pull up the game log, like I feel like he almost scored all of them, like Thanksgiving or after. Or like
I'm gonna check
December
it.
At least.
I was just looking it up.
McBride was the one that only had like 1.
Yeah.
He had first 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 weeks. He only had 2.
Right. So he had 5 the last half.
Yeah, he had 5 in the last 6 weeks. So there you go. Yeah, that's wild. All right, Big Web's best bet of the week. Big Web, what do we got here? We're looking at the board right now. What are we looking at?
Guys, check out that one in blue on the bottom right there. So I think we got 3 no-brainer picks in Buffalo money line, Philly money line, and that doesn't pay shit when you put those 2 together. And Washington Tampa over, I really like that. That's going to be an exciting, fun game back and forth up and down the field. And I'm concerned about Zook's opinion on the Rams, but I'm more towards, look, they need to grab some pride and take care of their business so that the town has something else to think about than their town on fire. I think the Rams can win that football game, and I think it's more about Darnold failing against Detroit, and maybe he's got that glazed eye thing going still, and he's going to miss Jefferson by a large margin like he did last week. So I like that parlay right there, and the odds are great.
Yeah,
$668 on $100.
What are we sitting at total for the year now?
We're down 509. This will put us in the green.
Give me 1 second here.
Well, Big Web in the playoffs comes up big. So
that's exactly right, Nick.
This is where we make it back as we watch TJ go onto the board to give the current payout here. We also have Big Web's wild card parlay from yesterday.
Yeah. Now we hit both spots. And sorry, audience, and we're gonna get back to this next year in future endeavors when we get in the Weber Bets show, TJ and I, during the week. But that 4-way on the top there, I hit both sides yesterday. And the odds that I put on today's games are fatter than Roseanne Barr. If you look at that board again, go back to that board again, you'll see look at that. Denver plus 15 smackaroonies today, and Washington plus 9.5. Are you kidding me?
I like that.
Minus 509 for the year, Big Web. Come on.
509? What's wrong with that?
It's in the red. That's all I'm saying. It's in the red. I had to write it up there so we know.
Explain to him.
We're getting it back. It's Big Web comes to fruition in the playoffs.
Relax.
I mean, TJ, if you look at that top one, 2 out of 4 already hit. We just need Denver plus 15 and Washington plus 9.5 today to be at minus 8,000.
By the way, that's the worst 5 I've ever written in my life.
I was going to say his money sign's the same as the 5.
We're minus,
5 is awful.
If you hit the wild card parlay, you're at minus $8 on the season. That's basically even going into the playoffs.
But to be fair, and I'm transparent as you can get, I didn't give that to the listeners. I just wrote that up there, letting you know what's in my pocket.
No, it's good. But I just think we need to be real with the audience too.
We're real with them, and the other part that you're missing is if we lost every fucking week, we'd be down $1,800, right, Nick?
Yes.
Oh, good. We didn't lose every week. Thank God. Oh my God, that's a tip of the cap there.
No.
Do we need to go to the other green board and show you the little fucks that Atlanta did to me this year?
We told you not to pick them. You pick them every fucking week. We can't save you from yourself.
I think you gotta remove Atlanta from the betting equation here. But TJ, it's where do we stand after the Super Bowl? We got time left.
Thank you, Nick. I love Nick. Nick knows he gets this. The glass is half full.
Clip that. I love Nick. That'll never be said again by the Big Web.
You gotta bet the full season. You gotta stick with Big Web through 18 weeks regular season and playoffs.
TJ, what the man is saying.
We're breaking even today.
What the man is saying, I think he's right. I think we might go in the green today.
We might go to the green today. At the very least, we're going to be, worst case scenario, down $509 or $609. But best case scenario,
Right.
I really
Break
wish my
even,
5 would have been better. The
and-
joke would be way funnier if my 5 looked like a fucking
TikTok
ass.
can't.
Good
TikTok
God
can't
almighty.
see it. TikTok can't see it. TJ's 5 looks like a fucking ass.
You can see it on YouTube. if you
TikTok's
like.
only got a
mean,
week anyway.
It doesn't even.
You're right.
It doesn't even look like an S. A kindergartner could write a better 5 than that. TJ,
That was a
I
pretty
mean,
bad
come on.
5.
But what the man's
What
trying
are
to
we
say, TJ, is look, if we were down 1,800, I don't think we could get there. But we got ourselves built into a reasonable zone here.
I like
We're
this.
in a fine position.
Is there a reason you've got the siren going off?
For some reason, every time this remote controls the lights on the ground, and we get rave mode every time I do something with this
Rave,
camera.
it's rave.
So I need to
mode,
unplug
you know?
these because it just constant
Wild.
raves in this thing. Yeah.
Honestly, I think that maybe should be part of like the Big Web's best bet moving forward.
Just have like music with like the rave like lights going on.
Yeah,
It's kinda-
just the rave. Like
Yeah,
it's
it's kinda
a
sick.
party and it's a roller coaster ride
Big
every
Web
weekend.
puts on some sunglasses. Yeah,
I'm
I
in
like it.
favor of all that.
That's good. I like that. It is
I like
kind of
the
cool
whiteboard.
actually when you look at
It's
it.
kind of like Zook's shirtless gentleman, or Zook.
Zook's shirtless
Remember when
gentleman.
Tolly used to be on
Oh,
the
our
show?
punishment that we
Oh,
did.
yeah,
Shirtless
yeah.
gentleman.
Oh, you're talking about that. Okay.
Yeah, our former producer Tolly had a shirtless gentleman in his walked behind him in his hotel room. We weren't sure what was going on, but
Tell Ace about that.
That
Yeah.
was an all-time moment. I think that's my favorite moment
It
in
was
all of
funny.
our years of doing any content.
because he
that
was sitting
my
there
favorite
trying not
moment.
to break, and we're laughing our asses off. Like there's a shirtless gentleman with his nipples hanging out behind Tolly's head. We're doing a live
And
show.
then Zook and I reenacted it.
You guys reenacted it, and I had
we
to edit it with my father shirtless. It was the most uncomfortable thing I've ever done in my entire life.
Yeah, I had to tell my wife. I was like, "Yeah, Big Web's coming over. We're gonna do like
Take
a
our shirts
shirtless
off."
Video. It was like after work.
How do you explain that when she walks into the other room and you guys both with your shirts off? There's no explanation.
Tell him he's coming over.
Yeah, Big Web's coming over, and she walks in. You guys are both shirts off, tarps off. It's wild times.
Oh, God, we don't have any fun around here.
There's no coming back from that one. All right, that'll do. We're going to wrap up early here, everybody. Appreciate it. Any last thoughts, Big Web, before we wrap this one up?
I'll tell you what, guys, it's the playoffs. I know you're tempted, but don't bet the house. Bet the doghouse. Have some fun out there.
Nick, anything?
Oh man, we're on Jags head coach watch right now, and then we'll be preparing for the draft. So
When you say we, do you mean? I'll have a whole show with you about.
I am preparing for my dynasty draft right now. I already got my big boards made.
Okay, Zook, what do you thoughts?
I'll go tarps off for the show next week if the Packers win.
Okay, clip that as well.
I'm holding you to that.
That'd be good. I like that. And Ace, anything before we wrap it up?
Go Bills.
All right. Well, everybody have a great wild card weekend. We appreciate it. It's going to be a lot of fun, and it's kind of nice to be able to kick back and just see whose ass you're going to kick next week. So I'm ready to go. Might not be able to talk to everybody before the Lions play again. So let's go Lions. If they play on Saturday, show is still on Sunday. We can talk about maybe doing a Saturday show if you guys are down.
Do a little special lock in.
Especially if the Lions play. If it's Lions-Packers, I'd like to get me and Zook on there, I think. We'll see what's
Lions
going
will
on.
probably. I think that game would be Sunday.
I would
But
hope
yeah,
so.
I think we've got to do something Saturday if it does get moved to Saturday.
For sure. We'll chat about it.
Texans play next week, so they will be one of the.
They'll
Saturday
be
games.
3:30 on Saturday, like normal.
Yeah.
3:30
No,
on
yeah,
Saturday.
that's-
If you haven't
can-
noticed, the Lions are a bit of a part of the
That's a
show.
lock.
So
A little bit. Just a little bit. So we'll see what happens, but just keep your notifications on either TikTok or YouTube, and we'll be on. So but that'll do it for Ace, for Nick Yale, for Zook, for Big Web. I'm TJ Weber saying so long. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. We'll see you for the divisional round.